The Amazing Spider-Man, Parts 1 and 2. Why not? Now, when The Amazing Spider-Man came out, 3D was the new great thing. This movie wasn't just a new era of the Spider-Man franchise. It was also made to move new Sony 3D televisions. Sony was really trying to hit the 3D market very hard, and this was going to be their flagship product to help move their Blu-ray players. Now, the 3D is good. No one will be disappointed by the 3D here. Check out this kind of web room. This is excellent. It kind of reminds me of the web in John Carter. This is just a great visual treat, and that it was rendered like that is even extra special. Nobody will be disappointed, but the funny thing about this first Spider-Man, and really most 3D movies around this first time, this first generation of 2000s 3D, is how shallow the 3D generally is. There is something going on here. Old 3D from 1954 has far more dramatic stereo than this, and even on smaller budget 3D films from the same period will also show more 3D expression. Now, on other reviews, like on John Carter, I speculated that maybe they were just being conservative in the early days, and on Metal Storm, I talked about how 3D cameras change how a shot can be approached. And I wonder, along those lines, maybe the director approached this as a flat movie and just let the camera technician deal with making the shots work in stereo. So, as any good technician would, they played it as safe as possible. It's speculation, but keep in mind directors have very little time to put this all together, so it's no time to be reinventing the wheel. And there's a lie out there that every frame of a movie is carefully calculated and nothing gets in a movie by accident. Rather, I've come to believe the whole process is a mad roller coaster with everyone holding on for dear life, trying to stuff it all in under deadlines. Nothing gets redone unless they absolutely have to or the lawyer demands it. Idle speculation aside, it's a good-looking stereo film. This gets a bad rap as the worst Spider-Man movie. No, I think Spider-Man 3 is the worst, but even if this didn't live up to the Maguire films, those aren't in 3D, so they're dead to me. Okay, on to the second one. This has a much wider stereo field. This movie was done in stereo conversion, and when I first started examining these, I thought they would make for a good comparison between native shot 3D and conversions, but I feel the first movie played it too safe to give a true impression of what a native shot 3D movie is capable of. If anything, this is yet another example of how wildly successful the art of 3D conversion has been. Watching the two movies back to back is a nearly seamless 3D experience. They both have great 3D shots, though the second one does open up the scenic shots more. In the first one, for example, when Spidey is swinging around, the buildings behind him are very flat. Whereas here, the establishing shots have a lot of movement. Even if there's a little bit of cardboard in the foreground, just the depth provided here more than makes up for that. Now, both movies end on a dark and even somber tone. And I actually wonder if that contributed to the overall negative reactions to them. I watched this with a friend who is well versed in the literature, and he said that the endings were very accurate to the original story in the comic books. Now, my feeling was I felt the ending would have made for a better opening, and that we get the shock up front and let that be the emotional basis of the movie, and as it unfolds, it can perhaps uplift the mood, rather. Now, I'm trying to relate this in a way that doesn't spoil the films, but from a marketing point of view, I can see how that idea would have never flown very far. I also feel that the second movie would have been better as the first movie. I think, especially at this time, there are far too many movies giving us origin stories for superheroes, and it was kind of tired. And we really don't need origin stories for superheroes. I think audiences can just accept them as existing, and it's much better just to have a superhero movie start with a superhero doing the superhero thing.